Today we begin a journey unlike any other, a bold descent onto the surface of another world. The red planet, Mars. Right now, only 2 robotic explorers remain active on that distant ground, Perseverance and Curiosity, separated by about 2,300 miles, 3,700 kilometers, each working alone in its own dusty kingdom. When the weak sunlight touches the Martian horizon, they wake, stretch their metal arms, and begin to explore on our behalf. They take samples, analyze rocks, and beam thousands of images and bytes of data across the black ocean of space. Through them, our eyes wander over an alien world, raw, beautiful, and silent. Mars is a colossal desert of rust and wind, a geologically sleeping planet, wrapped in a fine red haze of oxidized iron dust. Its color comes from billions of years of chemical weathering, tiny iron particles that turn to rust under a thin, unforgiving sky. That air is almost pure carbon dioxide, so thin it equals the pressure found at 115,000 feet, 35 kilometers, above Earth. No human could breathe there, not even for a moment. The pressure is so low that when sunlight warms a patch of ice, it doesn't melt. It vaporizes instantly. That's sublimation, one of the many strange dances of physics that rule this frozen desert. Rain is a memory. It probably hasn't fallen on Mars for billions of years. Volcanoes are long dead. With no tectonic plates like Earth, the Martian surface changes only through impacts, wind, and oxidation, an eternal sculpting by silence. Everywhere you look, the planet stretches dry and desolate. At dawn, temperatures can drop to minus 112 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 80 degrees Celsius, then swing by nearly 180 degrees Fahrenheit, 100 degrees Celsius, between night and midday. In winter, the cold becomes so extreme that parts of the atmosphere itself freeze and fall as dry ice. And yet, this is the most hospitable world we know beyond Earth. That's why we sent our robots there, machines of curiosity, carrying cameras, sensors, drills, and the burning question: was there ever life here? But before Perseverance and Curiosity, many tried and failed. The first success came in 1971 with the Soviet Mars 3 probe. It transmitted for only 20 seconds before falling silent forever. Then, in 1976, NASA's Viking 1 and Viking 2 sent back the first clear photos of the Martian surface. They were stationary landers. No wheels, no movement, only silent sentinels collecting dust and data. That changed in 1997, when a small 6-wheeled rover named Sojourner rolled across the ground for the first time. It traveled only about 330 feet, 100 meters, during its 3-month mission. But that small path became the first human-made trail on another planet. Then came the Twin Warriors, Spirit and Opportunity, launched weeks apart in 2003 and landing on opposite sides of the planet. They were designed to last 90 days. They ended up rewriting history. Spirit survived for more than 6 years, crossing nearly 5 miles, 8 kilometers, of craters and rocks, sending panoramic views that stunned the world. But one day, its wheels sank into a sand trap. It still worked, but it couldn't move. Gradually, dust built up on its solar panels, choking off its energy until it could no longer call home. Opportunity, on the other hand, kept going for 14 years, through storms, freezing nights, and endless plains. In 2018, a massive global dust storm darkened the entire planet, cutting off sunlight. Opportunity went silent. Its last message, interpreted from the final signal, broke hearts around the world.
My battery is low, and it's getting dark.
2 rovers, 2 heroes, both resting forever in the cold dust of Mars. But their legacy, eternal. Together, Spirit and Opportunity captured over 300,000 photos and sent millions of data points back to Earth. They proved something astonishing. Mars once had water, rivers, lakes, maybe even oceans. That revelation changed everything. When Curiosity arrived in 2012, it inherited their mission and took it further. With 6 independent wheels and the ability to tilt up to 45 degrees, it began climbing, drilling, and exploring. But the surface is treacherous. Crater rims, dried riverbeds, and volcanic rock shards can slice through metal wheels like razors. Sometimes, the rover must drive backward to avoid damage. Each move is planned by engineers on Earth, then executed autonomously. Because Mars is far, an average of 140 million miles, 225 million kilometers away, radio signals take between 6 and 44 minutes to travel round trip. No joystick, no live control, only pre-programmed hope. Every 2 Earth years, Mars hides behind the Sun in what's called solar conjunction, when communication stops completely. For 2 weeks, the rovers must survive alone, waiting in silence while the Sun blocks the radio link. When the connection returns, engineers find them still alive, dusty but loyal, patient as guardians. And if you've ever seen time-lapse videos of Mars rovers speeding across the landscape, remember, that's all accelerated. In real life, they crawl. Most days, they move less than 650 feet, 200 meters. The Curiosity rover traveled only 1,300 feet, 400 meters, in its first 2 months, and just 1 mile, 1.6 kilometers, in its first year. Every meter is a story, every photograph, a discovery. We're not racing, we're learning a world. Landing, though, that's where fear lives. Engineers call it the 7 minutes of terror, the window between entering the Martian atmosphere and touching down. During those minutes, the spacecraft must survive heat, parachute deployment, rocket braking, and precision landing, all automatically. If anything fails, it's over. If it works, another miracle begins. Once on the ground, a new enemy appears. Dust. Fine, electric, and relentless. It seeps into every hinge and joint, coating lenses, sensors, and solar panels. For solar rovers, dust is deadly. In 2009, Spirit was crippled by dust buildup and spent 8 months motionless, struggling to recharge. And then there are the storms, enormous walls of airborne powder, stretching thousands of miles. One storm in 2018 blanketed about 14 million square miles, 35 million square kilometers, a quarter of the planet. Only Curiosity survived, powered by a nuclear generator. Opportunity, relying on sunlight, fell into darkness and never woke again. But sometimes the wind is merciful. Small spinning columns called dust devils swirl across the surface, hundreds of feet tall. They've been caught on camera cleaning panels like invisible hands. In 2005, Spirit's power levels were critically low until a dust devil swept over it and cleared the panels. The rover came back to life, as if Mars itself had whispered, "Keep going." Then came the discoveries. Everywhere we looked, Mars whispered one truth. It was once alive with water. Opportunity found hematite spheres nicknamed blueberries, minerals that form only in liquid water. It also found sulfate-rich layers, evidence of ancient evaporation. Curiosity discovered clays in the Gale crater, and when it drilled into the soil, it found something extraordinary. About 2% of the sample was water. That cracked, dry ground had once been the floor of a lake, encircled by hills that now stand as fossils of flow. One evening, Curiosity aimed its camera upward and caught a tiny blue star above the horizon. It wasn't a star, it was Earth, glowing softly in the twilight. Our home, seen from another world. Gale Crater is 96 miles, 154 kilometers, wide and crowned by Mount Sharp, rising 16,000 feet, 5,000 meters. Layer by layer, Curiosity climbs it like a reader turning the pages of an ancient book, each stratum recording a season of Martian history. It has traveled more than 20 miles, 32 kilometers, climbing nearly 2,100 feet, 630 meters, and still continues, battered but unbroken. Then came Perseverance, the most advanced rover ever built. It landed in Jezero Crater, 28 miles, 45 kilometers, across, an ancient lake bed where a river once carved a delta visible from orbit. Beside it, a small companion made history. Ingenuity, the first aircraft to fly on another planet. Its blades spin 4 times faster than any Earth drone to achieve lift in that thin Martian air. It performed 72 flights before a broken rotor ended its mission. But during those flights, it scouted terrain, mapped hazards, and extended the rover's reach. Together, Perseverance and Ingenuity became a duo of discovery, one rolling, one flying, both rewriting what's possible. Perseverance has fired lasers into hundreds of rocks, drilled into the soil, and uncovered traces of carbonates and clays, minerals born in water. It's collected rock cores, sealed them in titanium tubes, and placed them on the ground, like time capsules for future missions to retrieve, perhaps in the 2030s. One day, those samples will return to Earth and answer the oldest question. Did life ever exist on Mars? But Mars isn't just dust and stone. It has poetry too. We've watched the sun drift across the sky, the shadows stretch, and the horizon glow blue at sunset. We've captured a Martian eclipse as its moon, Phobos, crossed the sun. We've seen river deltas fossilized in rock, shaped by torrents that once rivaled the mighty Mississippi. Mars was wet, dynamic, alive. Then it changed. Being only 1/10 of Earth's mass, it cooled faster. Its core solidified, its magnetic field faded, and without that shield, the solar wind stripped away its atmosphere. The air thinned, the oceans froze or evaporated, and the planet fell into silence. 1 billion gentle years of habitability, gone. Now, its surface is a radiation-blasted wasteland. Cosmic rays strike unfiltered through the sky, making the topsoil as radioactive as the Chernobyl exclusion zone after the disaster. That's why our rovers search not for living creatures, but for signs. Chemical fingerprints of ancient biology locked in rock. We found strange shapes, rocks that look like statues, branches, or faces. Most are tricks of light and shadow, a phenomenon called pareidolia, when the mind sees patterns that aren't there. Still, some anomalies stirred curiosity, irregular markings that might have been colonies of microorganisms or traces of organic compounds. Nothing confirmed yet. But when both Curiosity and the Mars Express orbiter detected methane and noticed it rises in summer, it raised an eyebrow. Methane could come from geological reactions or from microbes buried underground. Tiny, hidden, breathing out hope. No proof of life, but not the absence of it either. And sometimes, that's enough to keep looking. Someday, the rovers will stop. Curiosity's wheels are cracked, its body worn. Perseverance will roll on a little longer, the last of its kind. Machines built by fragile beings on a blue world, now alone under a red sun. When they finally power down, they'll remain silent monuments to our need to explore. Their tracks will fade under dust, but their story will echo in us. Because these robots are more than metal. They are our hands stretched across space, our curiosity turned into motion, our hope made mechanical. So the next time you look up at the night sky and see that faint red spark, remember this. Somewhere out there, two small travelers are still working, still sending our questions into the silence. And when their voices fade, Mars will keep them, and their story forever. If this journey through Mars touched your imagination, don't let it end here. Hit subscribe, tap the bell icon so you won't miss our next cosmic adventure, and like this video if it inspired you. Share it with someone who loves space as much as you do, because the more we explore together, the further we go. And remember, knowledge is the only investment with infinite returns. Don't leave yet. Your next adventure is right here on the screen. Tap it now and keep traveling through the cosmos with us.